Okay, hello everyone. This is where we'll be using to stream today's live session. All right, um, and this will be today's setup for the live session. All right, we'll be analyzing. Okay, I'll be analyzing. Let's say BTC, Good, EURUSD, GBPUSD, and we look for one other pair for maybe live trade or setups. All right, so we'll be analyzing these pairs. So that's what we're doing today. Without wasting much time, so let's get back to today's market. The first thing we do is analyzing EURUSD, right? And we'll be starting from daily time frame, just like I always do. From higher time frame first. That is the most important thing right there. From higher time frame. Okay, so we'll be using daily time frame first. Now, just from the last analysis we had on EURUSD, we understand market broke structure right here. Okay, so this is clearly break of structure to the upside. Okay, then here market grab this liquidity or this short-term high right here, this little weak high or this candle high. So since market break this or grab this liquidity, we're expecting market to give us a buy continuation to the upside, right? But that does not mean market will start buying instantly. Okay, so since we understand what market is doing on this time frame, so the next thing we do is mark out our support or resistance level, our current support or resistance level on this daily time frame. So this is our current support level. This support level right here, market has used it to buy. Okay, this support level right here, market has used it to buy this day. Okay, then this one also, this support right here, that is what market used to buy on Monday. So this is Tuesday, Wednesday, and today candle. So we're having this as our, so now my expectation earlier on was kind of if market can come to this resistance level, then we can look for pullback and if possible a sell move. Okay, so the first thing now we do is this: we note what market is doing on this time frame. We have a current support level right here. Now, apart from this being a current support level, so I'm just trying to use a general model that all of us know. Okay, we analyze it together, we understand what market is doing, then we understand or we wait for um, confirmation to react to market. All right, so that's what we'll be doing. So since we have right here a short-term support level, okay, then we have the major support level right here. So this is a long week, a long week right here. So we go to lower time frame to look for imbalance within this week, refine our zone. That is the first thing we do. So when you come to this time frame, you see this imbalance right here. Okay. So you see that imbalance. And after that imbalance, we also have what? A POI before the imbalance right here, which we marked earlier on here. Okay. Then this imbalance also is important. But instead of marking the imbalance, we just pick this support level like this. Okay. This become our POI. But this is our long-term POI, not current POI. Since market is already buying from this level right here. So this is Monday, Tuesday. We'll have kind of like the high of the week, if possible. This can be the high of the week. Market can decide to consolidate today or sell off before next week, before we continue the buy program. Okay, so we'll have short-term liquidity sweep on this hourly time frame. Okay, from the higher from this 1 hour time frame. That on 4 hour time frame, another thing I'm monitoring here is this: where is market reacting from? Market is reacting from this imbalance. Okay, it's reacting off from this imbalance. So since market is reacting off from this imbalance, it can give us what? A pullback, right? It can give us a pullback, and you understand right here on this time frame, support, support. Then the current support we have is this. Okay, this is the current support level we have. Now I'm trying to break it down for you all right? So we have this current support level right here. Then we have where market is reacting from. Then now what will give us our bias today is one thing is liquidity. All right, let's delete some of this. Uh, I've already made a mistake out of. Okay, so the one thing now is that market is reacting from this support level. Then another thing market did is that it grabbed a low, this little low right here, a liquidity, okay, or inducement. So when you come on this on the 4 hour time frame, it's inducement. On this 1 hour time frame, it's also inducement. So we go to 15 minutes time frame to look for a break of structure, which is this short-term break of structure right here. So this is clearly first entry right here. But market is already buying, so I wouldn't want to jump in when market is already making the move. So I don't kind of like this type of entry or this type of risky entry. Except this entry, maybe we're online at this point, maybe I would have taken this trade. But with this, you understand now that okay, this can be what a bullish continuation to the upside because we have grabbed liquidity. And the reason why I call this a continuation to the upside is first, expect market to buy, make a higher high. That is the first thing, okay, to take this high out. And once market break out this high and engulf this imbalance, we expect it to what? Take out this major high. That is the next thing. So once it engulf this H4 imbalance right here, it will most likely take out this high. That is the next thing. So now since we have this right here, we have a CRT reversal. Okay, a CRT reversal. So this is CRT high, this is CRT low, plus the CRT candle right here at the middle here. Since we have that, this can lead forward a buy program. and this would be the entry, this first entry right here. Stop loss just right below this low, something like this. Okay, this just a simple inducement from support level, rejection, CRT reversal, a buy program. Okay, so this makes sense that you can look for a buy continuation to the upside, but at the same time, this is what a resistance level, right? So since market has been buying since yesterday, right? So this level where market is now is a strong resistance zone. So most of the times when market is around a strong resistance level like this, it will accumulate order. Okay, so this can be a buy move. When you buy, if market get to this high, you take out your profit because it can take out this high and go back into this consolidation. Then after the long consolidation, it can manipulate to the downside to come for this mitigation. Then before a buy continuation at that point, or because this low is not totally protected, market can what induce this low before buying to take out this high. Okay, so this is why most times you just need to what be careful of what you are doing. And trading most of the times is about emotion. One thing about trading is emotion. All right, they always work with what emotion. So they always, what will people react to? What is people what are people thinking? What are they doing at this point in time? So that's what they react to most of the times, or that's what how price reacts. So that is the first thing. That is the first trade we can monitor for the day. So on daily time frame, you can see it right here. Market set to this support level. Okay, but it's also a daily CRT from this candle to this candle. So it's working with this current support level right here. That's what market is reacting from. So for a buy program, the upside. Okay, so if you are using support and resistance, maybe from yesterday or on Tuesday candle after Tuesday close bearish, this can be a buy movement. So after market from this CRT, this can continue to the upside using this as a support level. All right, that is yesterday close level as a support level, so which is this. So once market now close above it on this H4, close above it is most important thing. So though at that point maybe you might have missed the entry, but most of the times if you're using support and resistance only, so what you need is what from higher time frame like daily, you need market to what reject a support or a resistance level. Then one time frame lower, you wait for market to engulf that level. One time frame lower, like 4 hour time frame. If this 4 hour time frame candle were to engulf this, then it make more sense for you to enter, even if it's a risky entry around this point. It will make more sense at that point for you to enter a risky entry because you know that the price has not obeyed time frame to time frame. Okay, it has obeyed the rules of time frame to time frame. So that point you can look forward a buy. So that is that. Now just a moment. Okay, now let's look at gold. From our last weekly commentary, from last live session that was on Tuesday, we said that okay, market can decide to give us a short-term liquidity grab right here before it sell, but it didn't do that. So it just showed off straight to this imbalance. Okay, but the area we were expecting market to touch was this support level, and if we are to enter, is this, but for reaction is this support level. Market did not get to that level, then we have this break of structure yesterday to the upside. After a break of structure, we'll have a new higher high right here, a liquidity grab. Then here, clear order block. All right, clear order block that market can use to continue buying the upside, but it's already buying. So we won't discuss this pair that much for the day. We won't discuss it that much. So Just like I said, we're expecting market to what? To get to this high. That is the most important thing. So once market get to this high, then next is external high, which is this. So that's what market is doing currently, and gold is bullish. So on this H4, you can see where market is reacting from. H4 resistance level. You can go to 1 hour time frame, wait for engulfing of that level. It close above it, which is clear rejection on one time frame lower, clear rejection. But there's no break construction this time frame. So if you scale into 15 minutes, you will see a break construction, which is this entry by continuation to the upside. So simple support and resistance. Okay. Then another pair I'm monitoring is BTC. All right, the BTC. So the first thing market did was this. We had a perfect mitigation from last live session. I said we'll have a break of structured upside. That these are the two POI we can expect price to sell from. So since we have these two POI right here, and we have a complete mitigation, I said earlier that this would be my major POI, all right, for the sell program. So we have here support level or last mitigation within this structure range. So it will make sense that you pick this as your POI. Then here, this 1 hour time frame, this is early consolidation. Now, why did I call it early consolidation? You see how market was trapped within this range. Not only trapped, it grabbed liquidity, but instantly reject this high. Okay, so that means market is trapped within this range. So this is early consolidation. Since this is early consolidation, I will mark it as accumulation. Then we'll have manipulation to the downside. Okay, so now you have this. Then on 4 hour time frame, from 4 hour time frame, we have a CRT reversal. You can see that here. A 4 hour time frame CRT reversal, a CRT high. Okay, a CRT high right here. Then inducement. Okay, inducement. This can lead forward buy program. If market get to this high, the next is what? This high. Okay, the next would be this high. We established a structural range currently now. So since we have established a structural range, next is what? A buy move or a buy setup. So we have a short-term liquidity grab right here. So let's refine our POI first. Okay, we have this. We have this. So another POI I have expected market to buy from was this. Like these two POI. Either this internal structure or this. Now the reason why I call this internal structure is because what? It's a proportion block. This base candle right here, this small candle right here, head price here. So it can lead for a buy program. So these are the two POI. I even send it to my private channel. So let me just retract the chart right here. So this is just the chart and what I expect. Okay, so inducement, early consolidation, manipulation to the downside. The POI, the major POI was just right below it. Then the support level, just and which is this POI where price is currently buying from now. Okay, which is this. So it make more sense that okay, one can look for this buy setup, but at the same time, for me, it will be a low probability setup. Now, most of the times, some people do come ask what difference between low probability. A low probability setup is simply when market form a consolidation and it didn't break structure on that time frame that it formed the consolidation. Let's say, for example, a 1 hour consolidation, which is this. If there's no break of structure on this 1 hour time frame around here, like market did not form a lower high, then a lower low to break that high, it's a low probability setup for me. So that is just it. So, but this is a clean setup. One can target this as first target, and this will be another target, right? So this will be another target. Um, clean and simple setup. You don't need to make it complex. All right, you don't need to. If it's, let's say for example, for those that still using Wyckoff, right? Are still using Wyckoff, this is still the same thing. You have something like AR, right? Sorry, AR right here. After this, you have a sign of strength right here. After the sign of strength, then you have spring to the downside. Then this is a test, the test leg for a buy program. So this is a test for a buy program. So that is what you have there. So that is just what you have if you are using Wyckoff. But if you don't want to use Wyckoff, because at the same time Wyckoff is complex most of the times and it's very subjective. Okay, it's subjective. So if you call this, let's say for example, SCAR, then secondary test right here, then you have this test of this leg, then the test or ST, the second ST or STP. You have here the sign of strength, which is mostly inducement to induce liquidity on the opposite side before the down movement or the down push. After the down push, sometimes market do create like one leg like this. It can be visible on that time frame, then break that high, then a buy program. So, and you should understand that this must be what consolidation, right? When market is trapped, even if you don't want to call it accumulation, all you just need to understand is when market is trapped within a structural range or trapped within a zone for a long period of time. But you should not trade away from that range, right? If you trade away from that range, it's no longer a consolidation at that point because this has now it has distributed or manipulated to the upside or to the opposite side of the market. So that's what you should understand as a trader. So that is that. Now let's look at other pairs. Gold is already buying. The same thing with EURUSD. GBPUSD is also buying. So from the last live session we had, which was last Thursday or last 2 weeks, sorry, last week I meant to say, I gave an outlook for this buy program right here, and market started buying on Friday, which I took entry. Then on Monday, market continued buying. Tuesday, we had a short-term retracement, and that at the same day, we're looking for a buy program right here, right? So we're looking for a buy program right here, but market did not get to that POI. It started buying from this imbalance right here. But one thing market did was what it broke structure. So when it broke structure, since we have gotten our early consolidation, right, which is kind of like a distribution phase, it distributed to the downside before buying. Okay, so we have gotten this early consolidation, then market broke structure to the upside. This gives idea that okay, we are going to buy for that day. Then when I woke up in the morning, around I woke up around 8. I didn't wake up on time, so it was around somewhere around here. I woke up around this candle, so I can't take this entry again. If not, this would have been my first entry right here. Then market, I was even thinking maybe market will not come back for this entry. So that's why I didn't even update it publicly. I was thinking maybe it will just continue buying, and take out this high without coming back, but it just came back for entry and continue buying. Right. So that is just a clean setup. The same thing right here. That is the only POY. Since market has already mitigated these two, the next POY is this for a structural continuation to take out this high. And just like we discussed last Tuesday or last week Tuesday, not this week. Last last week, Tuesday, we said we expect market what? Make a higher high from here, right? To buy from this level. So this is our last structure range. If market will not buy from here, our next area we expected was this area, for market to come to this area before we buy again. So this is one of the trade we discussed already. Another one is this, and at the current moment, it's not balanced yet. Okay, so we have consolidation right here. Market now is what? Retracing to the downside, lower low, lower high. Yeah. Market is buying from the imbalance currently, but I won't buy from here because it's kind of like risky. Just like I said every day, I'm waiting for market to come to this area. If it won't come to this area, I'll just wait for a major break. Okay, at least to break this consolidation before I start looking for a buy program to make a higher high. Okay, if not, then I'll just expect market to get to this area before I look for entry. So that is the only POI we have currently, which is this. So that is what we have here. Then on USD chef, based on the last trade we discussed, we said we have two POI. One was here, one POI marked average for this sell was here. Then market broke through that level without entry. And then second POI was this. So where market is currently selling from now. So that is this, and we explain the reason why we're expecting this sell because we have consolidation, manipulation to the upside, then we're expecting a distribution to the downside. And apart from that, we have a complete mitigation right here that can um, help us to mark out this POI. So we have a mitigation right here. So that's why we didn't look at this imbalance or above this level. So this is one of the setup we also discussed that very day. Then we also look at New Zealand, yeah, this New Zealand chef. So we actually look for sell program right here. I was actually because I call this a consolidation, all right, a consolidation. I expected what this to be a manipulation to the upside, then a sell right here. And sure, I took a loss trade right here because I took this entry. I took a loss trade right here. So that is one trade that we also discussed. So among the whole trade we discussed, GPUSD played out nicely. USD card played out nicely. Um, which other pairs? We discussed that already. Okay, good. And US 30. So those are the pairs we discussed already. Okay, this bullish, perfectly bullish also. So this is also a consolidation, but it's not a clear consolidation. This is kind of like a short-term consolidation right here. Short-term consolidation right here. So what I need is what a break of structure plus engulfing of that low. So break of structure plus engulfing of that low. That's what I need. I was waiting for market to break this low. If market broke this low, I would have sold this pair to target this low. Right? Not necessarily this low, but this low. So because market can decide to get to this level, start buying. So this is it. But currently, I'm expecting to take out this high. If market take out that high, then we can have some pullback next week. We can have some pullback next week. That is it. And we also mark out these two POIs as a POI because market is currently creating a range structure to the upside. It's currently creating a range structure. This is our last major break structure to the upside. Major structure range. This is a high, a low, a high, a low as a range structure. So that means if you are to mark out your major structure range, this is major structure range. This you can call it minor or range structure. I do call it range structure. Okay, so this is our range structure. So I'm expecting market to continue creating this range structure: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, a higher low until market get to our next point of interest where we likely expect a sell to happen. And if fundamental analysis align with our view, if fundamental analysis align with our view, then we look for sell. So that is our next point of interest is this, which is above this level. So if fundamental analysis, interest rate or quote reports align with this sell, then we start looking for sell into this major structure range. Until then, we expect market to continue creating this range structure it is creating currently now on this 1 hour time frame, on this daily time frame, I'm to say. This is another pair, just like I said already, a sell continuation, a sell drop. Then I also had this POI marked. Then I'm just like that. We expect market to continue dropping from that very day or last Tuesday. I said market will likely to start continue dropping from here as our POI or get to this level, dropped. So those are the two POI I have. Currently, I also have a short-term early consolidation right here, which might likely be next week setup. Then this pair is also bearish. So from the last mitigation, POI right here, we mark this POI. The market is selling from that level. So I also expect market to continue selling to the downside after this pullback. So that is just it. Okay, this is a buy program. Okay, also mark out this pair for a sell program, but this look like a double top. So, but it's also a sell program. Even if it's a double top, market just selling from this imbalance right here. So, and the next target is this low. So that is the next target on this pair. But I don't trade this pair most of the times because the pip content is very low. So let's just look at it. Let's say, for example, one decide to take this type of entry just from here to here, only 10 pips. The pip content is very low, and sometimes it can be confusing. Sometimes that particular play, despite the fact that the pip content is low, it can be confusing sometimes. So those are the pairs I'm currently monitoring. Okay, this was the US 30 we discussed that very day that we are looking for a buy program, and I said it that very day either we continue buying from here because after market gave this small consolidation right here, had manipulation to the downside, then market started buying to the upside. Said it if either we continue buying from here to the upside, or if market can drop a little bit lower into this level before buying. So that was my expectation. Market can drop to this level, then we buy from here and expect what a continuation to the upside. And most of these pairs that has high peak counting, I don't just kind of like jump into them. So I always wait for a perfect model to form before I take entry on them. So I don't just jump in. I wait for perfect model before taking my entry on these pairs. Same thing with okay, this one was very straight and direct. After this inducement, consolidation, a manipulation to the downside, a break of structure, entry right here to the outside, and buy continuation to the outside right there. Then at the same time, we have this. So this is one setup I can actually monitor. This is early consolidation, okay, or accumulation, okay. After market accumulated, distributed to the upside, which I also call a manipulation move. So after the manipulation, we have market returning to this resistance level. So after returning to this resistance level, this buy candle right here is a CLT candle. Okay, so let me just mark it out better before I continue. Okay, so I'm expecting a sell. All right, that's what I'm expecting here. I'm expecting a sell program, but this is US 500 or SRP. So you should be very careful in terms of risk management. So you can decide not to take this trade, okay? Because it's very volatile. and the pip counting is very high. So let's just refine it for best entry if possible. Okay, so I will have this area as my point of interest. I'll have this area as my point of interest. This as point of interest. My stop loss should not be more than 30 pips. So let's just leave it to, let's say, 27 pips right here, and target still remain the same. So this can be good, right? The reason why, even if there's no break or structure, because but most of the times always expect a break or structure on like 1 hour time frame after market form this consolidation for it to be a high probability setup. If market was buying, create a little higher low, then get to this level, then break this low, yes, that become a high probability setup for me. But if market did not do it like that, I don't consider that to be a high probability setup. So this is a low probability setup because there's no break or structure. But at the same time, we have a CRT reversal on 1 hour time frame at POI plus this early consolidation. So this is resistance level rejection, a CRT reversal. So we can expect market to target first. The first target can be this CRT low, second target here. Then if possible, because these two has already mitigated each other, these two lows has mitigated each other, the next target will be this. Okay, this can be your final target. This can be your final target. Okay, this can be your final target. Let me download this image. Okay, so that is just it. And since today is Thursday, our live session today won't last very much. Okay, so this is what I expect of price for a sell program on this US 500. Now, just like I said, we we want EURUSD to close above this resistance level, the body to engulf this level. So if it engulf this level on 4 hour time frame, that makes sense now that you can buy. So let's just delete this position. So wait for market to engulf this. If it engulf this, then I can update it in the channel today, or if tomorrow I have a clean setup, then I'll also update it. But if I don't have a setup, I won't update the channel. That's what I do most of the times. All right. Okay, so that's what we have for today, and that's all for the day. But EURUSD is simple continuation to upside. All right, we have gotten a break of structure to the upside, so we have gotten this break of structure. I just need maybe on 5 minutes time frame. Okay, there's no break, there's no structure on this 5 minutes time frame. So the last structure we have is this imbalance. Let's say on M1. Wow. This still remain a POI if one want to buy. So this can be your entry. Then your target that is same. If market give the entry, this can be your entry right here. To have the same target, external high, and if possible, this high. Okay, so that is what I expect of price. So that level is what I expect of price if market give the pullback. But if not, we can just continue from here and continue buying to the upside. So that is all we have. That's all. That is all for today. If you have a question, you can ask. If no question, then okay. How did I mark USD card, please? Okay. How do you mark your POI on US 500? Okay. Now let's get back to the USD card first. On USD card, currently is bearish. Okay. The pair is currently bearish, and on daily time frame, let me say something. On daily time frame, imbalance, imbalance. So the next area where market likely give a major pullback, where we have a major pullback, is around here, around this short imbalance. Excuse me. Okay, that is not an imbalance. So if that is not an imbalance, the major area where we can have a pullback is this. The major pullback is this. So this is where I'm expecting price to pull back into this level. So if market start buying from here, you can expect. So that means I'm still expecting market to drop more on this. So we can mark out this as a major structure range on this 1 hour time frame. Okay, not on 4 hour time frame, on daily, but on this 1 hour time frame, this is a major structure range. Then after that, we're having a range structure here, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, right? So market can now have a new lower low, if possible, absorb this liquidity, then give a break of structure to the upside. Then I can expect what, a buy, at least to target this high and this high. Then after that, our next UI is still this SC candle right here, before a sell continuation. So I'm expecting market to just continue dropping on this time frame gradually before major pullback to this level. So that is my view on USD card. So that is my expectation. Then POI on US 500 is this. First, we have a resistance level. Okay, each one resistance level. Then just pick the weak area or the rejection block. So that is the weak, the resistance level. That is why I pick. That is the POI pick. So that is it. Then on this time frame, the reason why I pick this POI, there are I have about two reasons I pick this POI. One of them is this: you can, on this 5 minutes time frame, you can have this imbalance. Okay, that is inverted imbalance. Inverted imbalance on a minute time frame. Around that inverted imbalance, we'll have like what should I call it, a hidden base or something like that, right? So that is why I pick this POI. That is just another major reason I pick their POI right there, not this imbalance. So there you have it. So that is just it. But most of the times, POI for entry, right? It matters, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is just your directional bias, your reason for selling or buying, if it's from fundamental analysis, or everything is from technical analysis, or it's from maybe political event or geopolitical event, right? So all those things can give you directional bias. Let's say, for example, the war between Ukraine and Russia. That alone can boost the fundamental analysis on good. That has given you idea that good will be bullish no matter what. Why? Because a lot of country a lot of countries are supporting Ukraine, and a lot of countries are also supporting Russia. So most of those countries that are supporting each other, there will be what panic within them, and that can cause um, people to be buying good more or invest more in good and all. At the same time, that can also cause people to invest in BTC and all. So that with those geopolitical events, you have got an idea that okay, these pairs are bullish. So the only thing is that you watch out for their manipulation leg, because even if they are bullish, before they continue buying, they will mostly sweep liquidity or take out some early buyers before buying to the upside. So that is just what these pairs do. So another one is this. This pair is also bullish. The only thing is that the only reason why I don't trade this pair most of the times is because except you have instant entry, right? Instant entry. Most of the times it doesn't give entry. So take for example, there was this very day I was waiting for this sell. After this CRT, the next candle I was waiting for market to sell from here. Where I set my limit order, just market just continued dropping that very day. The same thing here. I was expecting a buy. So this one I just missed the entry with about one or about 2 or 3 pips. So, but this was kind of like accurate, and the another entry it gave that very day was around somewhere here. Okay, it continued buying. Then another one is this. It didn't use CRT, it broke structure, it gave entry. But most of the times, they just give reversal, then continue buying with that entry. So that's why most of the times I don't look at these pairs except you use limit order to take the entry. And sometimes if you use limit order and there's news or a threat from Trump, that can cause a short movement on this pairs. Maybe this move is not supposed to happen, but because of that threat, it affect this pair positively or negatively. Boom, you will just have a short drop that will sweep you out before market go to your direction. So at that point, you have taken a loss or unnecessary loss. So that's why I always wait for confirmation, then I look for entry. If market did not tag me in, no problem. It's better than losing or losing money. So that is all we have for the day. And I believe I've answered all questions. So good luck and good trading to you all.